Hey there. Today is Monday, September 10th, 2018, and you're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I'm here to talk to you about Pax West and the awesome experience I had there. Let's see where to start. First of all, I want to thank Shirley Curry, otherwise known as Grandma Shirley here on YouTube, because if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have been able to go. So thank you so much, Shirley, from the bottom of my heart. Shirley invited me to be on a panel called Different Strokes for Older Folks, which is a dubious honor, as I've said before, to be invited to be on a panel for being an old fart. But I made the best of it because it was so much fun. I have gotten the panel bug and I cannot wait to do more panels. I just love them. I love to be in front of the audience. I love to talk about things that are exciting and interesting, and I love to hear their feedback as well too. I also made a new friend. Her name is Mary, and so she was the one who was kind of asking us questions, talking then about her channel. Shirley would talk and then I would talk, and so it was really fun. And so basically the panel was for an hour. It went very quickly. It was really cool to see our channels up on this huge screen, and it was so cool to hear my voice come out when they played my channel trailer and my voice came out over the room. Oh, it was so cool. We got asked questions. The hour went very quickly. I was very surprised. And it was Friday morning at 10:30, and I was really glad that it was we were actually the second panel of the entire weekend, and I was really glad because, first of all, everyone who came was fresh. The weekend was just getting started. Like, if you have a panel on Monday, everybody was like so tired, or even Sunday. I mean, Pax West takes so much energy. And so there was a good number of people there, and they were interested, and there were older folks there, and it was really cool. I was very, very pleased with it. I'm already thinking of ideas for panels to talk about next year. So I'm definitely hooked. So one of the things that they asked the audience was, what's on your bucket list? Like, what do you want to do? Challenges coming up for your channel? And I said the top of my bucket list is to meet Swen Vincke, who is the founder and CEO of Larian Studios. Larian Studios are the developers, the independent developers, mind you, they don't have any publishers, of Divinity Original Sin 2, which we've been playing here on the channel since March. And the story, it is by far my best, most favorite, the best, most favorite, let's try English, the best and my most favorite RPG of all time. It knocked Skyrim right off of the, it is so good. And I highly recommend you try it, because the definitive edition just released on August 31st, which happened to be the same day of my panel. Anyway, back to the panel. People asked me, what the bucket list, they asked all of us. Shirley had the things she wanted to accomplish on her channel. Mary did too. Mine was to meet Sven Vincke and interview him. And I had actually sent out a request to him for an interview some months back, but I didn't hear back, which I was not surprised about, because he's so well known in the gaming industry that I honestly didn't think I had a chance. But it didn't stop me from trying. Well, it turns out that whole putting my foot out there and just making the effort worked out, because I said those words around about 11:15 a.m. The panel ended at 11:30. At 1:15 on that same exact day, Friday, August 31st, I was interviewing Sven Vincke live on his live stream that was being broadcast on his Steam page for the release of the definitive edition in front of 3,500 people. Truth. Couldn't make it up if I tried. So how that all went down was with many thanks to David Martinez, who is one of the co-founders of Raw Fury. And we had lunch scheduled for that day, and I made my way to him. And Pax West is so huge that, gosh, it just takes forever to go anywhere. You'll see if you ever go. It's massive. Anyway, made my way to David. And on our way to lunch, I mentioned to him about the panel and how I'd mentioned that my bucket list is to meet Sven. And David turns to me and he says, I know Sven. I've seen him every year that we're here, and at other gaming conventions, I know him quite well. Why don't we just go over and meet him? And I was like, yes, please. Yes, please. I love you. So we go walking over, which takes like 15 minutes to get over there because this place is so huge. We go walking over, we walk around the corner, the back end of the Divinity big, huge booth that they had set up. Looked like a Magister's tent. It was really cool. Anyway, and walk around the corner, and boom, there, right in front of me is Finn. Sitting on a couch, playing the game with another man from Larian Studios, playing the game on a couch, hanging out. I just stopped dead in my tracks, stood there, and gaped at him like a complete idiot. It looked something like this. I'm not making that up. So I just stared at him. I was so shocked. I didn't even know what to say or do. And while I was busy with my mouth hanging open, flies, coming in, and David's having a great time. He's looking at this whole thing, watching this go down. And Sven turns to me. He sees me staring at him, and he says, I jest you not. He said, I know you. I know you from Twitter. I said, I want to interview you. And he said, well, okay, come here, sit down, interview me. I was like, it did not take me half a second to figure out that I wanted to do this. Hey, David, I'm going to send this to you. I'm really sorry, dude. My friend David, I ditched him. I just hit that couch so fast, like I left a skid mark where my butt just hit the couch. I slid in there so hard. And I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm live streaming right now. I said, really? He said, yeah. I looked over and you could see that there were 3,500 people watching and they were all saying hi to me. It was so cool. And I said, where are you live streaming this, on Twitch? And he said, no, on Steam. This new feature that Steam has where developer, anyway. So, long and short of it, I did get to interview him. Now, that's all the good news. That's the good news. The bad news? I had nothing prepared. Nothing. The interview, and I put this in huge quotes, it was not good. It was not good. I didn't ask him anything interesting and thought-provoking. I did find out that his favorite type of character to play is a mage. And that they do have a new project, but they're not speaking about it. They are moving on from Divinity Original Sin 2. He wouldn't give me an inch, even a nothing. Nothing. 2, he asked me if I could play the game really well. And I said, yeah, thinking about all these fights that I had won with Shelbin, Mr. Buns, Scuttlebutt the cat, all these, and our 3 companions, Ifan, Losa, and Beast. Well, I was thinking about that one time that we beat somebody who was 2 levels above us, which is very hard to do in Divinity Original Sin 2. So much so that one of the patrons, Ralph, hi Ralph, said, I bet you can't do this. And I said, I bet I can. So he bet me and I won. Anyway, so I was thinking about that on the couch. So Sven turns to me and says, well, let's play in arena mode. I'd never played in arena mode besides just what's in the story. That was all great until he handed me a controller. You guys who've watched me for a long time know I am no good with a controller. No good. I tried to play a game called Abzu, which is a scuba diving game, and I couldn't. My scuba diver just kept going, and then I try and get him up, and he would just go. I just could not. I'm just no good with the controller. So I told him that. I was quite honest. I said, I can't. I'm not good with the controller. He said, well, I'll teach you. Well, teaching me, it turns out that when Sven says he's going to teach you, it means that he's going to kick your butt twice in front of 3,000 people so that you walk out of there with your tail behind your and you want to just and the thing is, I felt so on the spot, and he's sitting, and not only that, we weren't just on a couch, we were on a love seat. Like I was really trying hard not to butt bump the man, you know, like trying to keep my butt cheeks over here and his, like, and not be like inappropriate, you know what I mean? So like I stuck my purse in between us so like I wouldn't like accidentally butt bump the guy. Anyway, so it was humbling. The other sad news is I'd love to show you some footage of it. I'd love to show you a picture of it. Did I take a selfie? Did I get any footage? Yeah. I got pretty much nothing to show about it except for the memories of the 3,500 people who were watching. My memory and Sven's memory. Oh, and David Martinez. And that's it. And anybody else who was at PAX during that hour or so I was on the couch with him who might have taken a picture. That's all I've got. I got nothing. But scratching that off my bucket list, like getting to know Sven, and I mean a little bit for an hour, you know, getting to sit next to the man, see him as a real person. He's very tall. He has very long legs, which I noticed he had them stretched all the way out. Like he was sitting on this couch. He was very tired and it was only Friday, but they live streamed the entire weekend. So if you went to the Steam page of Divinity Original Sin 2 on Friday, August 31st, between 1:15-ish and about 2:15, that black lady on the couch, that was me. That's all I can do. That's all I've got. Anyway, so the rest of the weekend went really well. We actually ended up going home early. Shirley felt really ill, and I felt so bad for her. So she had to spend a lot more time at the hotel than she really wanted to. And I went around and saw some panels. I walked a little bit around. I visited with Shirley. But most of the time she just didn't feel that well. So when she said to me, you know, I'm thinking about going home early, I said, I'm happy to go home early. I ended up missing a lot that I didn't realize I was missing until I got home. But I'm okay with that because it was so awesome, but also really overwhelming. And I need a lot of time to recover and process. So I'm actually kind of glad that I chose to leave early. So we just changed our flights and left. I left Saturday night and Shirley left Sunday morning. And I got to see all the things I really wanted to see anyway, the panels and that kind of stuff. Next year, I will be way more prepared and will stay the entire weekend. So that was how PAX West happened. The other thing that I talked about was how I want to do at the panel, how I want to do more developer commentary live streams, and that is already in play. Every developer that I asked to do a commentary live stream with me said yes, happily. It felt so good to connect with him. I actually spent most of my time in the indie mega booth, and there was so much going on that I completely missed the fact that there's an indie mini booth, which is just like the mega booths. They have like a section, you know, like a little area, and they can show their game. There's maybe like a room for like 2 computers, 3 computers, you know, that kind of stuff. But the mini booth is just like one laptop, just a stand there and play the game, and the developer's right there next to you. I also missed David Martinez and Raw Fury put on something called The Mix, which was a like a media or mega indie expo showcase type thing. I missed that, and I was kind of bummed out about that. But otherwise, I just had I had a great weekend, and it was so much fun, and I am absolutely going back. And if the channel could support it, I would go to PAX West, I would go to PAX East, I would go to PAX South, because it is so invigorating when you work alone to have to get out of your space and get out into the world and talk to other people who love what you love, and other people who are creating stuff that you can then bring to the channel. It's just, and to meet developers, even ones that are as grand now in the scheme of things as Sven is. And he was just like, hey, sit down. I mean, like, that would just never happen. Just unless you're at PAX and I had done the footwork ahead of time to let him know who I was and connect with him. Anyway. So, after this vlog goes out, there's going to be an announcement for a game that I'm playing on Thursday with Francisco Gonzalez, the developer of Lamplight City. It's a Victorian steampunky detective adventure game. It looks really good. So I'm super thrilled that he was willing to come and join us here on the channel to do a developer commentary live stream on release day, which will be Thursday, September 14th? No, 13th? Anyway, this Thursday. Let me just look this up, make sure I'm right. The 13th, yep. So that comes out, and I hope you will join me for that. But otherwise, I want to thank you so much, as always, for watching.